Why do I want you to buy a print copy, an actual physical artifact called a book, rather than using an online version of one of our literary texts or using an ebook? Couple of things. Call me old school, but I do love the ability to mark a page very easily and then open it up. And I do find that there's a kind of physical memory for when you're looking for a specific section in a text, you remember physically where it was. It was on the right-hand page, or it was about this far from the end. And that helps you find things again. I also want you to understand the importance of annotating. You can see on this page I've highlighted certain things, I've written notes, and this is to help me remember what to tell my students when we review this particular part. I can keep track of how far I got with the post-it note or what I need to go back to. So that physical artifact of the book I find quite helpful. I cannot emphasize enough how much benefit you can get from annotations. I annotate every text that I teach. I read it multiple times, I annotate. You can see here that some of it's in ink and some of it's in pencil because these are annotations from two different readings where I thought of more things when I went back to the text. And we also know that the physical act of writing causes different synapses to fire in your brain than typing on a keyboard does. So the act of physically handwriting your annotations, physically underlining the parts of the text that you are examining in your close reading, this action, this physical action of using your hand and a writing instrument and attaching these notes to an actual physical page changes the way you learn and the way you remember. And annotating on an electronic document does not achieve the same thing. So I can't emphasize the annotation aspect of this enough. It keeps you actively engaged. It gives you a record of what you thought, and it attaches it specifically to the part of the text that you are thinking about. So it's easy for you to go back and find a quotation that you can then cite in your work. Also, now you can see the page very easily. Sometimes on an e-text, the pages are not so obvious. I've had students use PDFs where there is no pagination. Or also I have asked you to buy the same, I've given you an edition. So if we're all looking at the same book in the same edition and I say, go back to page 66, it's very easy for you to find that. I've had students using e-text where I'm reading to them and they can't find it. They're scrolling up and down through an e-text because they cannot find the spot. If none of that convinces you, there's one more very good reason why you should read from a page when you are doing this close reading with literary texts, and that will be explained in the following diagram.